Let's go over a quick little day trader tip that I can give you that I've experienced over my years of training. And it goes along with a great soundbite out there. Hey, there's no losses, there's just learning. You know, it's not actually a loss if you learn from it. And I get it, those sound really, really good. But the fact of the matter is, can you learn from losses? Can you learn from losing trades? Now, yes, in a very broad sense, if you're behaving as a total degenerate gambler, and the learning lesson is, you know what, I probably shouldn't be behaving as a total degenerate gambler. So yes, in that sense, you can learn from losses, but assuming that you are taking things very seriously and building structures and systems and rules, then can you learn from losses? Not really. And you can, however, there's going to be, and I think a lot of you, I'm confident a lot of you will be able to relate to this because I know I can, and I've talked with many other traders over the years that can relate to this. And you can learn and get new rules, but you know, we'll get to that in a little bit. But there's a couple of different things I need to set up here, and I want to just walk you through, how this works. So just to set up some context here, I got this on one of my YouTube videos where I posted a situation and the trade was going in my favor, and then it ended up turning around and took me out for a loss. And the whole idea behind that video was, sometimes this happens, it's frustrating. So the point here being, this is coming from a video that was showing one of my live trades that didn't quite work out. And like I said, I'll give you a couple of viewpoints here, but this will just be the first one to just set up context here. But he says, Clay, the trade failed by 6 cents, okay? I understand you're following the plan, but profit is profit, and your plan is no longer in effect at that point. Pull the trigger. So I mean, okay, there we go. We had that first bit of context, and okay, here we go. I lied to you. That is the learning lesson right there. There is nothing else. So my question to you, and be honest, because I don't want to influence you, but how do you feel? Are you kind of like, okay, yeah, that seems like I want to learn more. Like that comment seems, I don't see any red flags in that comment. I don't see any potential problems in that comment because it's riddled with problems, and it's going to illustrate the whole point here about why you can't really learn from losses in the way that I know a lot of people are saying that. And if you're like, oh no, yeah, I know what's wrong. Okay, then fine. Then what's wrong? Well, I'll turn this into a kind of a real-time quiz. And hopefully you're just being honest with yourself. Like, no, Clay, I guess I'm not quite sure. And that's okay. That's good. Your self-awareness is great. That's how you're going to learn as a trader. But there's a lot of things that are actually wrong with this and illustrate the point. So let's go to the first part of it. Clay, the trade failed by 6 cents, which is true. But here's the tricky part is, okay, let's say, and I'm going to put myself in my shoes of looking back at the trade and saying, it failed by 6 cents. That's true. But okay, so what does that mean though? Where does that fit into play? Because he then goes to say, your plan is no longer in effect at that point. Again, okay. So it failed at 6 cents, and because it failed at 6 cents, my trade's no longer in play. The plan is basically failed at that point. So just take some profit, right? Because your trade plan has failed at 6 cents. And I keep emphasizing these certain words because, yeah, it has failed. In what though? In hindsight. And here's the thing is, yes, I can sit there and do this. And this is where the rules come into play and can get very sketchy. I can say, okay, well, if a price comes down and gets within, well, let's say 7 cents or 8 cents of my profit, you know what? Just take the profit there because I remember that one trade where it failed at 6 cents. And my learning lesson was, you know what, Clay? It failed at 6 cents. Just take profit. But, let me give myself a little wiggle room. So let me make sure it's at 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 cents. So there's another little rule that I'll put into my rules of my strategy. Instead of, trying to get your full profit, let's just take it at 10 cents. Okay, well, take it at 10 cents if it starts to look weak right there. It's like, okay, well, now I have to define, weak. And my point here is this, when I was only 6 cents away, the stock had already moved dollars in my favor. So at that point, in that exact moment, and this is where it gets a little difficult because when you don't have hindsight, why would I not wait another 6 cents, right? Why would you not wait another 6 cents? I mean, if you've watched a stock come down multiple dollars, what is another 6 cents? At that exact moment in time, 6 cents, there was nowhere where I was thinking, okay, it failed. I was off by 6 cents. I was not thinking that. I certainly wasn't thinking, That, okay, it went down to 6 cents and now, it started to go up a little bit, but I mean, nothing's going to go straight down, right? Things will go down, maybe go up a little bit and then keep going down, which is what a downtrend is. And this thing had, like I said, already been going down, not straight down, but trending down for multiple dollars. So yeah, at that exact moment in time, 6 cents seemed like nothing at all to worry about. But, well, yes, when you look in hindsight and look back and say, oh, geez, it got within 6 cents, so it failed at 6 cents. So, and now you see, as I talked about earlier, you put in those new rules and because it failed. So at that point, the plan is off. Well, yeah, but you didn't know, and you're not going to know within your trades that your quote unquote plan is off at that moment, because within the moment for you, odds are it probably makes sense to, well, I'm following my main plan. My main plan was to get that price. Oh, great, I'm only 6 cents away. Surely it can go another 6 cents. But what ends up happening, and like I said, I've been here before, and I think you can relate, is you'll go back and you'll try to learn from a losing trade. And the lessons from this is, if it's going to supposedly be, well, I guess don't wait. If it bounced off 6, just take your profit then. Or, well, you gotta, if it just, 10 cents is actually fine. If it gets within 10 cents, then just take the profit right there. So you add in those new rules, and then you'll take another loss and you go back and review it. Okay, this is what I learned. And then you add in maybe a couple more rules. And before you know it, you have 150 rules, and you can't take trades anymore. Either because nothing meets your criteria anymore because you have so many rules, or you just completely overwhelmed yourself because you have so many rules within a system. And yes, you need rules. Yes, you do need a strategy. But sometimes you just have to acknowledge that you didn't do anything wrong. That's just how the market goes. And yes, sometimes the market is going to be cruel, where it'll get 6 cents within your plan and then just completely go against you. But if you look at that and say, okay, well, what did I do wrong here? You didn't do anything wrong. For your plan, assuming that it's a plan that's proven to be consistent over time, and when you're building it and you're like, this has been consistent, but this one I did take a loss. So what did I do wrong? Nothing. In some cases, you can do everything right and still lose money, because no system is perfect all the time. The markets are not going to reward you every single time. But if you go at this and then start to use hindsight trading, and well, geez, Clay, at 6 cents and didn't get there, you should have taken profit. I mean, you get the idea. Is you can sit there and backtrack and then figure out in hindsight, and you justify it all by, well, I'm learning from a loss. But here's the key part. Sometimes there's nothing to learn other than just be reminded that, yeah, the markets are random. No strategy is going to be perfect. And it can seem kind of it can seem kind of arrogant on your part to say, no, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, no, you surely did something wrong because you lost money. No. That's just how the market goes sometimes. And if you don't want to believe me in this regard, if you think I am being cocky, then that's fine. But just remember the person that tried to warn you that every time you tried to learn from a trade, fine. Well, that's what I learned, therefore I need a rule about this thing that I learned. I'm telling you, you're going to have a system that now is bogged down in rules and stipulations that either overwhelm you or never allow you to trade, or maybe you get to make like 2 trades a year because there are so many rules and stipulations a part of it. That's the alternative. But the freeing part of saying, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I followed my plan, and my plan just simply didn't work out. And it didn't work out because, the markets offer no guarantees. No strategy is perfect. On to the next one. I mean, okay, keep on going. There's no more rules. Just keep on following the strategy with the understanding that the markets are random. So yeah, did you think that all that was in there? But there's just those little key words, where you go back and you look and you see, your plan is no longer in effect at that point. Yeah, at quote unquote, that point where it failed. But you don't get to define failed until you know that the trade has failed, which is hindsight, and then it's too late at that point. So it's just those words, the hindsight bias, really kind of just swirls and swirls and swirls, and it'll lead you to, that ultimate, dead end. Well, it doesn't, and that's the thing, it doesn't feel like a dead end because it feels like you've made accomplished, you've learned, because you now have a new rule to your strategy. And then, like I said, you're going to be bogged down in rules every direction that you look. So I hope this helped. I think if you can relate to this, let me know down in the comment section. Have you been there before where you keep going back and learning, and then before you know it, you have a bunch of rules. If you're brand new and a beginner, I get it. Who knows if you're still even watching this? You're like, this guy's too arrogant to admit that he's never wrong. And yes, I'm wrong, but like I said, in certain situations, when you know you have a strategy, if you do say that you're wrong, well, that requires some sort of rule that needs to, be put in place or something. If you learn something new, I learned something new, or well, I guess that new thing needs a rule, and you don't want to go down that path if you know that your strategy, is consistent over time. So like I said, I hope this helps. If you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave any comments down below. Check out the channel as a whole. If you like what you see, there's a lot of variety, including a lot of live trade videos, which is where this whole, interaction came from. So you can watch those, and hopefully you decide to hit that subscribe button, as I would love to have it as subscribed. But yeah, remember, it's actually very, very difficult to learn from a losing trade. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.